your name? Moses. Where you from? You from Muskogee?
No, Galveston, Texas.
Okay, you from Dallas, Texas?
Galveston, Texas.
Galveston, Texas. So let me ask you a question. When we look at the black community, no matter if it's in Galveston, Texas, Dallas, Texas, Houston, Texas, Chicago, Tulsa, are we at the bottom in terms of where we live as a people? Why do we live would you agree that we live in the worst conditions no matter where you go in the world? We do. This is the thing. My brother Moses, have you ever asked yourself, why is that the case?
Bring it up. I came through with a theory like, as we was young, we been taught the wrong thing.
That's right. You're 100% on point.
We been taught the wrong thing. So as I got old, I'm down there 50 now, I realized what's real.
Okay. So I appreciate you stopping by. What I'm trying to show you, this is the greatest information you're ever going to hear on this earth.
Right.
And I'm not just casually saying that. I heard this in 2016. The greatest thing I've ever heard. This is the only thing that's going to bring us back to our God estate.
Right.
Did you know you were God, brother? Your name Moses. Moses wasn't no regular man.
That's right.
He was the meekest man to walk the earth. So I ask you again, do you believe you're a God? Let's get it. Psalms 82:6. How you doing, sir? What's your name? Alan. So Alan, this is Moses. Moses, this is Alan. Have you seen us before?
Not you guys,
okay.
particularly,
but you've heard the understanding of that we're the Israelites. Right. So with that being said, I asked Moses if he was a God. Do you believe you're a God, Alan?
Do I believe I'm a God?
Yes.
I don't know.
All right. And that is the problem in our communities. Not only do we not know if we're gods, we don't know if we're God's chosen people. We don't know who we are in the Bible.
Right.
We think that we're just black. We're just niggas. We're just Mexicans, Native Americans. But God said, I named you. I called you my chosen people, the Israelites. Read.
The book of Psalms, chapter 82, verse 6. I have said, ye are gods.
Ye are gods. He's talking to you. He's talking to you. But if we're gods, why are we at the bottom? Read.
And all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations.
Guess what? The reason why we are no longer at that God estate is because we have fallen as a nation of people. Deuteronomy 28:15. How have we, from all the rich history we like to say, every time we see one another in the hood, what do we say? Hey, what's going on, king? Yeah, that's a king right there, black king. We reference history that we have no understanding of.
Right.
We never ask the question. We can acknowledge we were once great, but how did we fall from that greatness? We gotta start asking the why in these last days if we want to what? Fix the problem.
Right.
God gave us these issues because we disobeyed him. So what does that mean? We have to return to him to figure out the solution.
That's right.
Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So, are you familiar with the book of Deuteronomy? Okay, you should. You got a powerful name. Your name ties in with what we're reading right now.
Right.
Are you familiar with the book of Deuteronomy?
I've read it before.
Okay, so during this time, we had already exited out of Egypt.
Right.
By the hand of who? Who led us out of Egypt? God led us out of Egypt, but who did he use to lead us out of Egypt? Moses.
That's right.
Moses. So your name's not a light name. It comes with much responsibility. Your nationality alone comes with much responsibility. But you holding that name Moses, you gotta be different, bro. You gotta move different.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying?
Read. To observe, to do all his commandments.
So Moses told us, he said, you must keep God's commandments, laws, and statutes, and he's going to tell us what happens if we don't. Read.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Now, he said if you don't keep those commandments, if you don't keep those laws, statutes, that curses would come upon us.
Right.
Is a curse a good or a bad thing, Moses?
Bring it out.
I see a bad thing.
Bad thing. What do you think, Alan?
I said, bad.
You say a bad thing. Now, verse 48. Let's see. Actually, verse 16, then we're going to jump to 48. Because remember what I asked you when you first came up. I said, everywhere we go in the world. Are you from Muskogee? Okay, so everywhere we go in the world, and we go to the worst parts of the community, what nation of people live there? Blacks. Let's see if that's a curse in the Bible.
Read verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Read it again.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Cursed shall thou be in the city. But remember the why. God said, if you broke my commandments, then I will put curses on you.
Right.
So guess what? You just learned the first why. When everywhere we go, we live in the worst parts.
Right.
Because we do not keep God's commandments. Therefore, we're going to continue to live in these bad conditions.
Wow.
Now let's see another curse. Verse 48.
Verse 48.
Actually, finish out 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Cursed shall thou be in the field. What you think that's talking about, Moses? If we're cursed in the city, we live in the worst parts of the city. Then it says cursed in the field. What you think it means?
Everywhere.
Cursed everywhere. Okay, cursed in the work field. But what was some history? What do we have in relation to history that has to do with the field? Think about it. Think about roots. Think about 12 years of slavery.
Right.
Think about, what's the Nat Turner one?
Birth of a Nation.
Birth of a Nation. Think about these different movies. What were we doing in these movies?
Picking cotton.
We were picking cotton.
That's right.
From sunup to sundown in 100-degree weather with no wages.
Right.
That's a curse. That is a curse. But God said these things would happen to you because you did what? God said that these things would happen to us because we did what?
Disobey.
We disobeyed.
Right.
We broke his
Did
commandments.
everybody disobey though? Like all the people in the field. Why must they suffer? Because they're doing right.
Uh-huh.
And why would God punish me if I'm doing right?
So let me ask you this. Does God deal with individuals or does he deal with nations?
No.
I've never felt that, so I don't know.
All right. So we're going to finish. Go to read verse 48. And then we're going to jump to Daniel 9 and 12 and Amos 3. Read. All right. So with that being said, a lot of times when we think, and I'm going to tell you where that thought comes from. If you ask any of our brothers and sisters, do they love God? Immediately their mind goes to what? That individual relationship they have with God. God, time and time again, anytime he's dealt with his people, he's never dealt on an individual basis. The prophet Jeremiah did his job. He prophesied that Babylon was going to what? Be destroyed.
Right.
But what happened to Jeremiah? Even Jeremiah himself had his heritage, his nationality, his culture, everything that was given to him stripped away.
That's
And he
right.
had no part in it. Showing you God deals with nations. And I'm going to show you that. Read.
The book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
No, spoken to Ali.
O children of Israel.
No, only spoken to Moses.
O children of Israel.
Spoken to the children of Israel. All of us. Read.
Against the whole family.
Against what?
The whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth.
That's the major point. God has only been dealing with us as a nation of people.
That's right.
The curses are proof of that. Read.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Which is why the curses are upon us and no other nation.
That's right.
Daniel 9 and 12. Read.
The book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 12. Verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law.
The Bible says, God is saying, all of us have transgressed God's laws. That us is so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We have all broken the laws of God. Because guess who God gave his laws to? Who did God give his laws to?
Bring it out.
He gave them to us. Read.
Even by deporting, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us.
There goes that curse word again. Because we broke his commandments, the curse is poured upon us. Read.
And the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him. And he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us by bringing upon us a great evil.
A great evil. All of this slavery is a great evil. Being put on slave ships and treated like cargo and defecating on one another is a great evil.
Right.
Read.
For under the whole heaven hath not been done, as has been done upon Jerusalem.
Guess what? No other nation can say that they went through what we went through as a nation of people.
Right. That's right.
And we still keep trying to stand up to this day. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Meaning what? We're not no ordinary people.
That's right.
But we act like it on a day-to-day basis. No, go back to Deuteronomy 28. So I'm going to...
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
So I'm going to ask y'all a question. So when you come to... Did that answer your question? About who God deals with? Does he deal with individuals or does he deal with nations?
I guess what I'm confused at, again, if I'm going around doing right, and God is punishing my whole race of people, and I'm doing right, do I keep doing right or what's my avenue?
So if your neighbor's doing wrong and you're doing right, you said, do you keep doing right?
Right.
Judith 8:24.
But you get what I'm saying though? Like, if God is punishing everybody, God is punishing everyone.
If God is punishing everybody, I'm listening, I'm following you.
Yes, sir. If God is punishing everyone, and I'm steadily doing what I'm thinking is right, what is my avenue now that I find the light that my whole people is cursed? So why should I live righteous if my whole people is cursed?
Well, then you got to ask yourself, are you really living righteous? We got to ask ourselves, we got to ask God, we got to seek God's face to see what he actually desires for us.
That's right.
Because how we've been taught to get close to God has not been the truth. It has not been the way. Right? The churches have not taught us the truth on how to know our God. Start off with Isaiah chapter 34, verse 16.
Bring it out.
And Amos chapter 5, Hebrews chapter 5, verse 12. Because this is how we have to humbly come and seek God as children. We have to be retaught this book. We've been taught this book through the lens of Christianity, through the lens of Catholicism, through Seventh-day Adventist, Jehovah's Witness, all these false different religions. These is never exactly, but never us. So that how we come back and show our people that we are the greatest people on earth, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American, is by coming back and reading our book through our lens. All praise to the Most High. That was a great response.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 16.
Come on.
Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read.
No, we got to go through seminary schools, theology schools. What did the Bible say we have to do?
Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read.
And read. Come on.
No one of these shall fail.
No one of these prophecies shall ever fail. Come on.
None shall want her make.
Meaning you cannot mate the book with another book. You can't make the Bible with the Quran like the Muslims do, right? We can't do that. We have to take this book wholesale. Read.
For my mouth.
For whose mouth?
For my mouth.
God's mouth, his power, his glory, right? Come on.
It hath commanded.
Read.
And his spirit.
And his what?
His spirit, it hath gathered them.
We must be gathered together by the true spirit of Christ in these last days, brother. That's what the Bible says. So then how do we truly seek his face? Give me that.
Hebrews chapter 5, verse 12.
Come on.
For when for the time ye ought to be teachers.
Come on.
Ye have need that one teach you again.
So it says, for need we have need that we ought to be teachers. One must need that we teach again. Read it again.
For the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again.
Read.
Which be the first principles.
The what?
The first principles of the oracles of God.
This is the first principles of the oracles of God, of how we come back and humbly, Isaiah 29:13, how we truly seek God's face in these last days, as the Israelites, not as blacks, Negroes, colors, Hispanic, Native Americans, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, whatever, what have you. We have to truly seek our God based on how he divided us in these last days. You understand? Read what you got.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 13.
Come on.
Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their
This people, as much as this people draw near me. Who's the this people? Our people. We draw near God with our heart. We want to be spiritual people. We are very spiritual people, right? But we have been doing what?
with their mouth and with their lips to honor me.
We give God our lips and mouth service, right? Come on.
But have removed their heart,
Their what?
their heart
We've removed our hearts.
far from me. And their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men.
It's taught by who?
By the precept of men.
Which is what? These man-made religions. These man-made religions. Our fear is taught by the precepts of men. It has not been taught by the one true God.
Right.
So as you brothers are listening today, you're understanding, you're seeing, you've already seen these things. But now we're bringing the scriptures out to validate those thoughts that we've already had in this lifetime. You understand? So our spirits have to be reawakened to who we are and the greatness in which we must come back to as the Israelites. Do you understand that? So as we be retaught, as we come back, Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 7 and verse 6. We must come back. We must come back as the Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. We must wake up our people out here in Muskogee, in Okmulgee, in McAllister, in Wagner, in Tulsa, in Tahlequah, all across OKC, all across Stillwater. Wherever we scattered at in this earth, we must wake up as the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6.
Come on.
But thou art an holy people.
So as we bring it wholesale from the verses we read in Hebrews chapter 5 to say, look, we have to be retaught. How in Isaiah 34 it said, look, we have to seek his face and have the fear towards him, right? And now we're reading what? How do we teach our people?
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
So through that fear, we can then teach our people.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people
Come on.
unto himself.
Read.
Above,
Where?
above
Where?
all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So that's how we begin to teach our people and truly love our brothers and sisters. Say, look, God made us a special people above all other races upon this earth. That's how we begin to teach our people. Then we can teach us the oracles of God. Then we can teach them the commandments. Then we have to show them, hey, we're greater than what we've been told. We're greater than what we've been shown in this earth. You understand? So then we humbly teach our people. Give me Psalm chapter 111, verse 10. This is the rudiments of what we, this is the foundation of what we teach. We've been destroyed through philosophies and vain conceited the rudiments of the world and not after Christ. So now we have to teach our people the truth about Christ. Read. When Christ said he is the way, the truth, the light, this is what he meant. Read.
The book of Psalms, chapter 111 and verse 10.
Come on.
The fear of the Lord.
The what?
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
So we read in Isaiah 29 that our fear is not taught by God, it's taught by the precepts of men. So now he's established, King David is establishing how we must come back and seek our God. Read it again.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
This is how we truly begin to understand wisdom upon this earth, who we are in this book, what God requires out of us, and how to teach our people.
So David received that message from God.
Read. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And now he's sharing, he's writing it in the Psalms, right? Read.
A good understanding have all they that do his commandments.
This is how we have a good understanding. Is by doing what? The commandments of God. So what happens if we're not doing the commandments of God? What kind of understanding do we have as a race of people? Do you think? Good or bad? Bad, right? Why do you think we have one of the highest STD rates amongst nationalities and races? The blacks, right? We have the highest, where you go, health, diabetes, gout, high cholesterol. Our communities are plagued with this at an alarming rate because we don't have a good understanding, because we have disobeyed and broke the laws of God. The other races, they can do what they want to do according to God. He says, but my children must obey my word.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity.
word